Hey, welcome back, everybody. Manny reads comics here. We're going to read Nocterra 5, and I'm actually going to read this live. I was told that I may have been right about something, and that maybe I should show you my live reaction to it. And let me go ahead and start off by saying I don't really react too much. I'm pretty, conservative with my emotions, so I don't know where this is going to go. We'll see. Um, but Yeah. So I have the book right here and talk about the cover real quick. To remind you, last issue, what happened? Let's see. Val and I think her name is Bailey. They reached the place that they were trying to go with, where they found Augustus's twin brother. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. Um, they took Emery down to his cave, and he was maybe there might be they saw like real sunlight for the first time in since the great PM, and that's where we left off with some kind of hope. Blacktop Bill was still chasing them. They got away from him. So yeah, in this cover we see Blacktop Bill holding a rifle, uh, and uh, and a bunch of people behind him. I guess that's his crew, and we see it looks like we're looking in the point of view of a shade creature. So that's kind of cool. It could be a human. It could be just a an animal. It most likely is a human. But we see a sun above them. That's different. I just realized that we're looking at a sun. It's not a nighttime. So that's I wonder if that's something of what's to come or if that's just a cover. But let's just check it out. It starts off with another flashback of Emery and Val at the first refuge, and it looks like their parents are going to be okay. They have solar lamps on them. Everything is still new. Val is at this point already the future Val. Basically, she's conserving all her batteries. She's not believing the hype, honestly, and she's just ready for everything to go down. She's ready to grab Emery and run for safety. And this military guy comes in and says, "Hey, your parents are gonna be fine." Emery's like, "Oh, you can say it. I was right." And they're just kind of having a good time, relatively speaking, right? Um, and then we go into the present. Emery's all messed up. He's hanging off of Val. I'm not even close to done reading this page, uh, but it looks like there's like the guy once again. I forget. I haven't reached his name, but Augustus's twin brother. He's like, all right, we need to get Emery outside, and Val's confused, like outside. What are they gonna do outside? But then they show the panel, and there's an actual sunlight. There's like a little bed or what they call a cradle in the middle. There's a garden. Everything that defies what Val knows since the Great PM. Um, they want to get him in the middle to help him. He may be too far gone, but I'm not even done reading this page, and guess what? Emery is attacking. He's attacking Val, and it's just like you should have seen this coming. Why didn't you restrain him? It just makes no sense as to why he's allowed to get as far as he did in this safe haven. You got this really infected person in this safe haven with no restrictions. That makes zero sense. I don't understand that. Okay, so he's attacking, and luckily there's some soldiers there or something that they have guns. I thought they shot him. I thought they shot her, but it was just tranquilizers. So that's good. Just tranks. Um, Next thing you know, she was out for 24 hours. Everything is black. The whole page layout is black, so that's pretty cool. Um, and the next scene we see Emery, eyes closed, but he doesn't look infected at all. So when Val wakes up, she asks about Emery. She's not sure what to say about it. She's like, "Is he dead? Is he better? Is he a shade?" But Bailey, she's like, come check it out." And so they go to the cradle, and like no one has come back from the depth that Emery was infected from, but he looks like he's a fighter, whatever, and he's able to come back, and apparently he's been muttering a name Stills, and Val pretty much says that that's his call sign. He hates being still. We'll go back to like a couple of issues, or it might have been last issue, where your call sign is something that you hate. Well, he hates being still, so that's his name, Stills. Um, Here, Bailey's asking if they're gonna stay, if Val will at least stay here, and Val's saying pretty much that if this place is what it seems to be like, which basically is utopia, that she's not going anywhere. So right now I'm just reading about how Val's just questioning Tiberius. That's the guy's name, Augustus and Tiberius, and he's saying he doesn't really know where they are. He created the place and everything, so it's a kind of Val asked him, "Where are we? And what is this place for real?" And he's like, and he starts going into a backstory like, well, my parents always loved to pit us against each other. Augustus, Tiberius, the first and second emperors of Rome. Um, so we're about to go into a whole backstory. All she asked was a simple question, and he has to go and go all the way back. I don't know. So Augustus is, well, not Augustus. I'm sorry. Tiberius is explaining to her that Augustus reached out to him, told him to build this prism, is what calls this place, and to to get ready for the dawn. Who knows what? It's a lot of dialogue, but he says, he is very thankful for to Val that she brought Bailey to him. That's his niece, and he said, "You're welcome to stay here, with you and your brother, and if you have other people, like we have one or two more rooms." Um, and she's about to be like, "Yeah, no, obviously I'm staying here." And he's like, "You need to make sure." And he presses a button, and we just see like four, five, maybe hooded figures. I can't tell if they're figures, if it's like a rocks. They're huge. They're at least. I mean, let's say Val is. Let's just say she's 5'7", right? They are over. They're towering over her. So these things are like 6'5" plus. Not sure what they are, and she's saying smudges, human shades, and okay, so they're not rocks because it looks like they're trying to get through the border and like they're like shoving their face through this veil. It's pretty creepy. Um, Augustus comes in. He says, "We call them Homo Nocteris, the apex. It's hard seeing them up close. People you once knew. In the early days of this place, we let residents control the lights in their room. Some folks, it was too much. The claustrophobia, they let themselves get sick. Hit it until it was too late. So that's crazy. So they can still see the outside world. So I guess they're not gonna kind of dome or whatever. The prism is a dome, but they can either make it a wall or make the wall transparent. Interesting. So it's been 3 days since they showed up at the prison. She's still trying to figure out if they want to stay or not. Like honestly, it's not. It doesn't sound like a bad deal. You get to live the rest of your life unafraid of anything coming to attack you. But some people get claustrophobic, like what's his name, Tiberius was saying. Um, but she thinks this is the best for Bailey. She wants her to grow up without this fear of being attacked. Uh, and so she's talking with her, and Bailey is like, "Hey, I finally thought of a call sign, and it's a little late for that." But she says Piper. So if your name's supposed to be something that you hate, why is it Piper? And I haven't read the next page, but so she says, and as soon as she's about to explain it, here comes Emery. I really don't, I really don't have any empathy for Emery. So Emery is standing up. He's awake. He's got a little bit of marks on his right arm, but he starts to apologize to Val. He's like, "I'm so sorry." Val's like, "You got nothing to apologize for." It's a sweet moment, I guess. Whatever. I still don't trust him. I still don't trust him. So Emery's awake, like I said, and he starts explaining what he's seen and how he saw images, how the darkness, you were able to talk and communicate through it. You could see the speaking was through images and things like that. And he also saw the darkness, that the beings in there, their fear, and Eos is the name of the fear. So that's something that Augustus was talking about, that he wants Tiberius to figure out. Tiberius doesn't even want to touch it. He's like, I'm good with just surviving. I don't care what my brother's intentions were. I just want to live out the rest of my life, basically. Um, and Emery here is just like talking about all this. And then finally, Val's like, hey, by the way, we made it. You're here. You were right. We should have taken that leap of faith, and we made it. We're safe. And he's like, let me tell you what I was doing when I got infected, and basically just confesses that he didn't lose track of time. He just stayed out there. He got infected on purpose. I don't want to. I don't. I don't want to curse. So, anyways, he stayed out there on purpose, like an idiot, and basically saying that it's not enough to just survive. He doesn't want to be constantly afraid, even though he's here. Like Val says, we're in this magic place where they have a magic light that heals everything. It says utopia, and you don't want to take it. And he's like, no, I'd rather die than live in this. Selfish. I called it from the beginning there. I do not like him. There's nothing that I hate more. That he's just weak, and I understand, like, people react differently to different situations, but right here you have the best, one of the best outcomes from this situation, and it's not enough. Come on, man, get out of here, get out of here with that. I don't. Oof, yeah, no, I don't like him. So Piper comes in and she tells what's her name, Val, that you never asked what my call sign meant. And so she explains that her parents liked birds or whatever. They researched birds. They had this book of birds, and there was a bird there called the sandpiper. And the sandpiper was one of the most solitary birds. So they had no friends, never stayed with a flock and everything. So that's what she hates. Basically, she wants to always be part of a family. She sees Val as a family. I think that's very heartwarming. They just met, but they've already been through a lot. So basically, she's just saying, anywhere you go, I go. We don't have to stay here. If you don't stay here, I go with you. And just in case, I stole your keys, so you can't leave me. Um, she's she's a great character. Complete opposite of Emery. I like her. Oh, I didn't read. Give me a second. We got Blacktop Bill on a screen and Tiberius talking to him. Says, what do you want, Bill? Or what do you want to do? What you hired me to do. Now open the door and let me come kill them all. What? And then we have a preview for Ordinary Gods, which we're not going to read. I didn't see that coming. Val, the page before, Val was saying how she blames herself and everybody else there for not for the first refugee camp. She basically, they um, the people weren't getting better. Every like they would get treatment, be better for a second, then revert back. And if they would have just let them go, instead of wanting more, having this refugee and just taking care of the people that aren't infected, being satisfied, they could have survived. But because they kept so many infected people there, eventually everything went to crap. The people reverted, and that within the first week, that refugee went down, and the rest is history. She's thinking about all this as she's walking towards Tiberius. Who knows what she's going to say there initially, but she overhears Tiberius saying, "What I have the book. What do you want to do?" And so he hired Blacktop Bill. He hired him to kill his brother. What is going on? I no clue as to why this is going on. I I don't know. That's crazy. I would have never guessed this, but this is what I love about this story. It gets you going. It keeps going. It doesn't just stop. Like right now, they're in paradise, and yet here's another issue. And so Blacktop is there. I guess it's been, I would say, a week, I guess. But why does he want to kill them all? Why? I guess Tiberius did say something along the lines of Blacktop just wants this for themselves and no one else. So he doesn't want to share it. And Tiberius did make it clear that he wasn't going to try to figure out what his brother was trying to to do. So should have seen that coming then. That was good. That was a lot of dialogue, a lot of I don't like Emery. Obviously, I don't know if I've made that clear or not, but if I had to give it a rating from 1 to 10, man, 7, 7.5, just because it was entertaining. It was good. We finally got to see what happens. That there is some kind of hope, but now we get the fall of hope. I guess that was crazy, and that does explain the cover right here. We see the sunlight that could be the cradle light, and that's Blacktop Bill and his crew coming in to kill everybody there in this sanctuary. Oh man, that was good. That was a good issue. I liked it. I mean, Emery stayed true to his character. He sucks. Bailey is just continuously getting better, and Val is just stuck between a rock and a hard place, and she needs to make a decision. So that was good. I liked it. Definitely check it out. Appreciate you for watching this, and it's a live review, so it's kind of weird, but thank you for sticking it out. Remember to subscribe, follow, and listen on the podcast if you need to. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. See you later.